I'm tired of people talking about how tough this schedule is for UF this season. And I know it is tough. We've talked about this a lot this summer. And as I've said before, the 06 team would be licking their chops at this schedule. Now, listen, I'm not saying this is the 06 team. I know. But I think that there is a place where UF has a pretty big advantage. And I don't think that anybody is talking about it. I got a ton of questions on my video asking something pretty interesting. I recently ranked all of the quarterbacks that UF will see during the 2024 season, on that vaunted schedule. One question I got in the comments was, where would I rank Graham Mertz in that list? Now, I have spoken about Mertz a ton, but not from this angle. And let me tell you, I actually think this is really, really good news for UF. So let's break it down. Okay, so I'm going to start with quarterbacks that are definitely ahead of Graham Mertz. I have Carson Beck at number 1, Georgia. I don't think that there is any question that he is, at the moment, the best quarterback in the SEC. Number 2, I've got Quinn Ewers from Texas, obviously new to the SEC this year. I do think there's going to be some adjustment to the intensity of week in, week out, but he's an incredible talent. And I think starting the season, you have to rank him as number 2. And number 3, I have Jackson Dart at Ole Miss. Listen, we know that Lane Kiffin can coach up some quarterbacks. Dart is really good, very talented. I think number 3 is where he belongs. All right, so let's talk about the quarterbacks that we know are behind Graham Mertz. There's not going to be a lot of disagreement on this. I think Blake Shapen at Mississippi State is absolutely behind Graham Mertz. I had Brock Vandagriff at Kentucky at number 10 on the quarterbacks that we would face list. I definitely think he is behind Graham Mertz. Florida faces KJ Jefferson and UCF this year. We saw KJ Jefferson last year against Arkansas. I think KJ Jefferson is not as good as Graham Mertz. I know UCF fans are watching this and they are vehemently disagreeing with me, but I think he belongs behind him. At number 8, I have Connor Wegman from Texas A&M. Don't think there's a whole lot of disagreement there. Now, I know if some people are going to have some issues with this, but I think DJU at Florida State is behind him. Listen, new system, new targets, new team. I understand that Florida State fans are pretty sure that DJ is the second coming, but I think that remains to be seen. And definitely in a preseason poll, he is behind Graham Mertz. I also have Nico at Tennessee behind Graham Mertz as well. Listen, I think that he is a talented kid. I think a lot remains to be seen, though. And this is going to be his first time taking over as the starter for Tennessee. And I think there's going to be a learning curve there. So there's some quarterbacks I would say are probably similar to Graham Mertz, Cam Ward and Nussmeier. Honestly, Cam Ward, again, same reason I have DJU behind Graham Mertz, new system, new targets, new team. I don't think he has earned the right to be listed ahead of Graham Mertz. So of these 3, Cam Ward, Nussmeier, and Mertz, where does Mertz come in? Let's talk about it. But first, I want to give some love to Meldon Law. They are the official injury law firm partner of the Florida Gators, and they have been serving North Central Florida for over 50 years, handling personal injury cases consisting of car, truck, motorcycle, pedestrian, dog bite, slip and fall, and more. Consultations for all matters are completely free. So listen, I hope that you don't need them today. But if you do, please call Meldon Law, let him take care of you, and of course, tell him that you heard about him from Allie Peak. All right, now, back at it. So, not to be a homer, but I have him ahead of both. Certainly, like I said earlier, to start the year, at least. Like I said, Cam Ward, new system. He is going to be facing better competition, even in the ACC, than he has ever seen. So where he is going to rank on this list kind of remains to be seen, right? But I definitely don't think that we've seen enough or heard enough to justify him being ahead of Graham Mertz. Now, Nussmeier, he's a new quarterback replacing Daniels. He's a different style, and he could have a very high ceiling. But I don't think it's fair to put him over Graham Mertz just yet, right? Now, LSU is a great team. They're always going to be a great team. I'm just not sold yet. So what does this mean, Gator fans? Basically, Florida has the better quarterback than 9 of the 12 teams that they will play this upcoming year. That is a huge advantage. Graham Mertz not only is better than those 9, but I think he's more experienced. And so some of that goes into where I rank him. If you are lining up in a skills competition, maybe he's not better than 9 out of 12, but you're lining up in a football game. You're taking into account crowd noise, environment, handling that sort of outside pressure. You're talking about being able to manage the guys around you, right? Lead your team. You're talking about understanding the playbook and having the ability to help coach up the guys around you. I really, really think that Graham Mertz is exceptional in a lot of those things. And I do think he's better than the majority of the quarterbacks Florida will see on this schedule because of that. And if you're looking at two teams and the talent level is similar, which in the SEC, the talent level is similar, except for when you're playing the top maybe 2 or 3 teams, having the better player at the most important position on the field, being quarterback, is huge. Now, obviously, other factors matter, right? Coaching goes into play, mistakes go into play, turnovers, etc. But on paper, I like Florida's chances in any game where we can definitively say Graham Mertz is the better quarterback that's going to play that day. And that should make Gator fans pretty excited for this upcoming year. I think there's a lot of factors that will come in here. I think Graham Mertz will be the starter throughout the year. I do think DJ Lagway has a role to play here, though. I don't think that the Gators will play him a ton this year, and I think that's a good thing, right? If DJ Lagway doesn't play a ton, if he just plays those special packages for him, it means that Graham Mertz has done a great job. It means the Gators are winning. If DJ Lagway takes over early in the season, it either means that Graham Mertz got hurt, God forbid, knock on wood. It means that Florida is losing, not something we want to see. I think the best case scenario for the Gators is letting Graham Mertz get himself into a rhythm, right? Let him shine. Allow DJ Lagway to develop organically, come along slowly. That's going to benefit Lagway in his career long-term, 1,000%. I think having packages in place that really utilize his skills and talents while still allowing him time to make that transition from high school football to big boy football in the SEC is the best thing for all parties involved. So listen, this doesn't change anything about the schedule, and Florida is still going to have to play well week in and week out. At the end of the day, when you look at the talent on this Florida roster and you look at the new coaches and the new quarterbacks that Florida is going to be facing, and then you look at the fact that UF has the better quarterback in 9 of their 12 matchups, maybe things aren't as daunting as we thought previously. I really think this is a good sign for what's to come this fall. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. I will catch you later on in the week. And as always, go Gators.